So like all of our other social studies resources, they're all aligned to the change in curriculum from 2013, and that was adding the inquiry-based thinking, the maps and graphing, the social studies thinking concepts like cause and effect. But different than grades 2 and above, grade 2 and above are in actual physical student book form. Because we're dealing with students in grade 1 who are still learning to read as opposed to reading to learn, the social studies curriculum is delivered in big book form. So we have nice, great visuals, covers off 100% of the social studies curriculum, but in big book form. So the teacher would be reading the big book with their students. There are 2 strands. So we have our community and we have our changing roles and traditions. And so within the series, you would get both of the big books. You get one each of the posters. So this is the changing roles and responsibilities poster. And then you get photo cards for each of the strands. So these show a photo on the back, and then there's activities, inquiry-based activities on the front, on the back of the card that the students can practice their inquiry skills around what is being shown here. You get 6 copies of each of the photo cards here, and you get them each for our community and our changing roles and traditions. And then you get a teacher's resource. And the nice thing, I love the social studies teacher's resources. It explains the inquiry process and the steps involved in the inquiry process. But then you have a nice chapter summary chart, which breaks down the curriculum social studies expectations, the social studies thinking concepts, and any cross-curricular expectations that are covered. And then it breaks the individual student pages of the big book. So we're now looking at pages 4 and 5, and provides a 3-part lesson plan for those pages of the student book. So conversations to have beforehand, how to speak to it during and after, and then any assessment pieces. And the Blackline Masters are at the backs of the book. So this is where you're using those assessment tie-ins. And then you also get a CD, which allows you to modify the Blackline Masters.
Oh, they can be modified, okay, because I know in previous ones you couldn't, they were PDFs. So that brings me to, most of our classrooms have Promethean boards. Is there an electronic version of these the way there is with the other Nelson Literacy?
Yeah, so there's an online teaching center.
Okay.
And within the online teaching center itself, and there might be an example in the book here. Yeah. But the online teaching center will have interactive student books.
Okay.
So you'll have a digital copy of the student book, as well as videos, image galleries, web links, and interactive smartboard activities.
Okay, so does that come as part of that package, or is that
it's a separate individual purchase.
Okay.
So for instance, this kit here, if we were just looking at one strand, is $2.99.
Okay.
Where you get the big book, the teacher's resource, the photo cards, and the poster. To then purchase the online teaching center with the interactive student books, those web links, those videos. It's a 1-year subscription, but $50, and that gives you access to both strands.
So I'm just wondering, would it be more economical then for to go with just the digital? Can you go with just the digital and not bother with the print copies?
Yeah, it sort of takes away from the experience. You don't have the photo cards, you don't have the teacher's resource. Okay. You really only have then the digital copy of the big book.
Okay.
But we could walk through the big book, but without the teacher's resource, it sort of takes away from the discussion points, that 3-part lesson plan, that assessment. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that the online version is only one sort of small aspect of the whole.
Yeah, it's sort of a supplemental piece, but certainly great for those schools and those classrooms that do have that digital capacity, and it provides additional enrichment to the social studies program.